Hello. Hey everybody, Randy Adkins here. Haven't made any kind of video content. Been busy with life things, but I am really getting into streaming a bit. So figured I just started Shadowbringers. I'm not right at the end, but I'm big with Endwalker coming out soon. The next expansion, I figured stream request. Because it's really good. So character. I'm not brand new to the game, but I have not Shadowbringers. Everything that I've heard is that it's really good. So stuff. One thing that is a lot to see. The only other major is the queues are never very big, and even if they seem a little bit big, like a queue of just probably seconds. Maybe I should have walked in before starting. So there is one person. It's okay. Yeah, so I'm just gonna be doing MSQ. Let's get it. So I did also toward the end of toward the end of Stormblood, decided that I probably want Shadowbringer with my, so I leveled 7. I'm kind of a alt jobaholic, as you might be able to see. I like playing a lot of things, especially healing. I'm tanking this game. I don't know. It's not as stressful as tanking. From everything I've heard, it's tanking this game used to be, but so Storendo, Exako meets with it. Okay. I worked.
Ah, how did you find your new quarters? I trust you were able to rest?
Had a good sleep.
I was not aware the room was haunted, and you were rather tired. Well, should you receive another visitation, be sure to let me know.
So that's about the last thing that we're stopping last time I played, is, you know, for the quest you have to in room, and Ardbert showed up, talked about what him after we last saw him.
Now, let us return to the subject of the Scion's whereabouts. This map shows the lands of Norvrand, the only area to be spared the flood of light. The Crystarium is here, in the region known as Lakeland. And to the north is the fairy kingdom of Il-Meg. That is where you'll find Urianger. To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of Rak-Tika. Your Stola is stationed there, in the heart of the forest.
That's the lie.
Alas, neither location can be reached without considerable difficulty. As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short flight from the Crystarium. Alphino is on Calusia, an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Yulmore, where the rich and privileged while away their days in idleness.
So this is basically alternate village. Yulmore to be.
For his part in furthering our cause, Alphino journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. From what I hear, he has since kept himself busy gathering information around the main settlement. Alize, meanwhile, traveled south to the arid wastes of Armarang. They lie upon the very edge of the inhabitable world, where the flood of light was halted. Those who dwell there live in constant fear of attack by the Sin Eaters. In contrast to her brother, Alize felt that her energies would better be spent learning about the enemy, and thus she sells her services as a guard, both to hone her skills and gather information on our foe. So, will it be Calicia or Armarang? It matters not which you choose to visit first. Simply inform me once you have made your decision, and I will see to it that you are provided with a suitable mount. Ah, but you must be wondering about Thancred. He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of Sin Eaters. Being ever on the move, his whereabouts are often difficult to ascertain, but I am certain your paths will cross ere long.
Okay, so let's see what. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, so I'm a little bit of a lore nerd, and I always have been, even when I play Warcraft. So this is really stuff like this is really interesting to me. So this is basically alternate Eorzea. So Rak-Tika is Gridania, Il-Meg is Earthas. Analan, Bilbrand, Lenosha. So that's really cool. I think I'm gonna go after Alize first, because it's the best twin. Okay. The Crystal Exarch is eager for you, say. Ready to depart for Areng? Alize will be overjoyed to see you safe. I know she was particularly concerned for your well-being. She, impressed upon me how regrettable the timing of her summoning was, repeatedly. She what? I only hope that my part in sending you to her will garner me some measure of thanks. Here, this is a letter of introduction addressed to a man named Kassad, master of a merchant caravan. There are few who know the ways of the desert as well as he does. Find him at the Amaro launch. He will see that you reach your destination. Crystal Exarch is eager for you to meet with Alphino. You will visit Alphino in Colusia then. Excellent. As I mentioned, your destination is an island off the west coast, so you will need a mount capable of the journey. Here is a letter of introduction. Present it to Sem Genmai, the master of beasts at Temenos Rookery. He will take care of you. When you see Alphino, be sure to pass on my warmest regards. I'm still going to Alize. Also, the first thing that I did was I went and got all the right, unlocked the whole etherite nugget. Because that is the easiest way to... If you've come looking for work, I might have a spot for another guard. Oh, a friend of the Exarch. Hoping to meet someone in Amareng, are you? Then I shall be your guard. I was about to set off for our outpost there, as a matter of fact, so we can leave right away, assuming you have everything you need. All set? Then off to the unforgiving sands we go. Travel to Amareng. Speak with the adroit Emerald tamer. Fly the desert. So use your Aether Compass to assist you in Aether Currents in new regions. If you lose this compass, speak with Jesserin at Starium to obtain a lost compass comes from place, LeBron to hidden foundation back. Way back in it. Not that I might.
Areng. From this parched earth, the nation of Nabath, Areng once rose. When I journeyed here, long ago, I spoke with a sun-weathered elder. He told me Armareng meant majestic land in the language of his people. And so it might still be, were it not for the light's unrelenting onslaught.
Oof. No matter how many times I come here, it never fails to catch me off guard. Don't be surprised when the temperature drops at night, though. The sky is still bright, of course, but it gets brisk enough to make me shiver. Now, the Exarch's letter said I was to take you to the inn at Journey's Head, which is where this Alize friend of yours is staying. But that's a fair old distance, so I propose we make a stop in Mord Sok to break up the trip, allowing me to attend to some business and you to enjoy the local hospitality. Sound good? Good. Alright, you lot, I'm off. I better not see the goods covered in sand when I get back. Right, we head southwest, straight as an arrow. Sand shrooms. I don't know what that is, but I love it. Oh, a gigantender, of course. Another thing that I like to do right away is get as many of the turns. Stop here a moment. This is your first visit to Armareng, is it not? Before you cross the river of sand, you need to turn around and feast your eyes on that. They built them big, didn't they? That's Qasr Shah. Qasr Shah, a fortress meant to protect the northern reaches of Nabath Arang. Seeing what was left behind, I believe it when they say it was once one of its mightiest nations. At least until the flood came along. Great chunks of Nabath Arang's lands were lost to the light, its great city included. The few who survived didn't see much point in staying, most of them. No, not many choose to come here these days, not with everything in ruins. Even that hulking great fortress has become a little more arrow roost for me and my caravan. But not everywhere is it as deserted as this place. Just wait until you see Mord Sok. Let's press on, shall we? Hello, Michael. See, Michael, this is what you should do when you first get to a new area. Go get all the ether. Go to the settlement. But we're at Lord Soak. Assad stands at the entrance. So, smile on his face. Lord Soak, not just full of Mord, but humans and all manner of others too. Has long been a refuge for folk displaced by the flood, so the population is nothing if not diverse. Have you met a Mord before? They might look like shifty little blighters, but a more welcoming lot ever wish to meet. Speaking of which, we should pay our respects to Master Gen. I'll go ahead and let him know we've arrived. Oh, so they're kobolds. Okay. Click on those even though every excuse me. I think it's interesting that you still can't see their faces. I don't want to arouse suspicions.
Master Gengen, this is the friend of the Exarch I was telling you about.
Very good, very good. Though friend or no, all are welcome in Maud Souk.
Souk is Mordish for city. As things stand, this souk boasts the largest and busiest marketplace in all Armorang. You'll find ore from the mines here, of course, but all manner of other things too, many of them rare. As I told you before, not many visit Armorang by choice, but Maud Souk's a different story. Merchants come from miles around to purchase the relics the Maud dig up.
Aye, that they do. For Maud do not dismiss the spoils of the earth. We clean them and polish them and reveal to the world their true value.
This is not at all how I ever imagined that kobolds talk, or what kobolds' voices would sound like. I realize these aren't actually kobolds, but even without the speech affectation that kobolds have, this is not what I would expect to sound.
That is why they come here, come from far away, come with much money. And so our souk is always busy, busy, busy. No such thing as a thing no one needs.
You say that every time, Master Gengen. Some sort of family motto, wasn't it? Or perhaps a Maud philosophy, for which we should all be very grateful. Would that everyone was so willing to take in refugees regardless of race or creed. Now then, if you intend to spend any time here, you'll want to gain the trust of the locals. And there's a little custom all newcomers are expected to observe.
The cracking of the coin purse. You buy one thing from the market. Price can be low or high, just as long as you buy.
As the good Maud says. In fact, the Exarch sent a little something to cover this very expense. A Verbert gold piece, no less. The first I've held in years.
Verbert gold? Real Verbert gold?
Here, newcomer, crack your coin purse with me.
Oh no, you want my goods, newcomer. I have jars and pots all smooth and shiny.
Over here!
Come and look.
You buy, you buy.
See, now, yeah, it's got them making, it's got them.
Enough! This one must still journey through the barrens. Nothing bulky, nothing heavy, no pots. Nothing better for the road than a full belly. Spend that piece at Ronron's place, yes? Eat for 3 before you leave.
The one person who didn't come up. Also, Michael, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to Ronron's, traveler. Have ways to empty your purse and fill your belly. Because apparently this is how kobolds talk. Take your time, stare and sniff before you choose, but no drooling on the merchandise, yes? Browse Ronron's way to move the camera as well as zoom in, target footsteps, and inspect. Yay, new mechanics, I guess. Start. think the bread is probably the safest thing. Oh yeah, like I have no issues with the deserts in this game. This game is. They even found a way to make water levels not terrible. I call that mush loaf. The middle is stuffed with bittersweet cactus fruits, so even if the bread dries out, it's still moist inside. Keeps you going in the heat. Oh, I have to browse all of them? Everyone's favorite. Plump white worms slathered in honey. Once you eat a glazed wriggler, you'll never want any other treat. Really? Oh, you'll like those. Chewy skewers. Find small frogs hiding under rocks, spear with a stick, then roast over a fire. Crackly on the outside, gooey on the inside. Perfect for snacking. And last but not least, that's my ever-burning bounty, made with the best parts of the lizard, cured with special spicy spices. Some find the smell challenging, but it'll warm you up on chilly desert nights. They all look tasty, yes. Which to choose? Which to choose? Oh, the bread. Mush loaf. Ah, very wise. You won't wither on the sands with a gut full of cactus fruit filling. You have the gold. And done. One Boberite honor buys you 40 loaves of bread. 40. Nothing bulky, he says, as I buy 40 loaves of bread. Am I eating them all right now? Apparently, yes. I ate 40 loaves of bread right now. Oh. No, I think I'll share the rest. Our sponsor invites us to feast. Let us give thanks for this his great generosity and small appetite. All I can think when I see this lady right here is she has basically the same model as the protester during the Dragon Song event. The one who Emanelaine indirectly told his guy to shoot with an arrow. Consider your coin purse cracked. I am pleased to accept your custom, and Gengen will be pleased that you honored ours. Keeping the merchandise down, yes. No returns. Materials do you supply? I don't want to know what sheep casings are. I was watching from here, Rando. You honored our custom, and with great relish. You will always be welcome in Mordsuk. Zook? I think it was Sook. Lord Sook. If you need anything in Amarang, we are here to provide. Cassard is impressed by your gastronomic fortitude. Ah, you have courage, my friend. Ronron's wares are more exotic than harmful, but I don't envy you. The bellyache you'll have on the morrow. Right. Now that you've eaten, I expect you're eager to get back on the road. Would you mind if we delayed our departure a touch? I have a few deals left to close before I can conclude my business here in Mordsuk. Oh, offering your services, are you? Aye. Well, an assistant would certainly help hurry things along. I have a receipt here for some goods that need picking up from the market, all properly paid for. You just need to do the lifting and carrying. I'll go and take care of some last-minute haggling then. See you in a bit. You may view the market receipt anytime using the relevant key items menu. Table cactus from Thonton, iron ore from Tol, Nabath Arang antiques from Meal, to be collected from Ulm. Well then. No, Bun is not one. Meal. That was from Meal, but it was supposed to collect it from someone else. Anton, Tall. Yeah, the antiques are from Meal, but I have to collect them from Mulm. Oh, here's Tall. Cassard sent you, did he? Right, yes. What kind of ore was it again? Iron? Of course. Iron ore, of course. That would explain this box I have here. It's all yours. Okay. So apparently, I also need to know. That was Tall. Table cactus from Funton. Teaks from... My short-term memory is not built for this. Tauntaun is table cactus. You came in with Cassard, yes? Good, good. I can finally stop thinking about that sack. Please, take your prickly purchase. Oh, apparently there was no quiz with that. Here we go. Speaks from... Hey, no touching. Merchandise is spoken for. Couldn't possibly change my mind with a better offer. What? Cassard sent you? Why didn't you say so? I wouldn't dream of selling his goods to a higher bidder. Oh, no, no, no. Nabatha ring relics, was it? All packed in that box there. Handle with care. Don't tell me you've been around the entire market already. Aye, that's the lot. All right. Good work. And quick work, too, considering you've not set foot in the place before. I thought you wanted to sit in the city like the Exarch, but something tells me you're not a stranger to visiting strange lands. Unfortunately, your efficiency presents something of a problem. I'd hoped to conclude all my business before you return, but it seems there's been some confusion over one of the orders I placed. I'll have to drag in my middleman and sort this mess out. I'm sorry to make you sit around and twiddle your thumbs. Cassard? It feels like an age since last I saw you. Oh. Not a great voice. Well, if it isn't the lovely Tesseline. It has been a while, but your timing couldn't be better. This gentleman was on his way to meet with Alizé. I'm supposed to be taking him to your corner of the desert, but a misplaced order has commandeered my attention. Wait, I know who you are. Alizé has told me so much about you. You're Rando, aren't you? I knew it. How wonderful to meet you in the flesh after hearing all those stories. Tesseline, I work as a carer at the inn, and I've gotten to know Alizé quite well since she took up guard duties there. Do you want me to take over as Rando's guide, Cassard? My shopping's all done and packed for the road, so it would be no trouble. That would be great help, thank you. Well, it looks like you'll be able to head straight out after all. My caravan and I will be in the area for a while yet. Seek me out when you've had your fill of Amarang. I'll send you back to the Crystarium. That is one thing, with the fact that basically all the characters have like a British or derivative accent, the fact that they pronounce it Crystarium, it's my ears weird, because like I would have thought it would be Crystarium, but anyway. Wait, the current quest already. All right. Gingan is fidgeting even more than usual. Greetings, friend. You like helping people, yes? Maybe you can help me too. You see, my son Gungun makes me very proud, very worried. He works very hard, too hard for his own good. He follows orders, yes, follows them until someone tells him to stop. This is very dangerous, bad for his health. I need you to speak to him, persuade him to rest. He should be near the Red Sarai, probably leaving no stone unturned in his search for relics. Please tell him his father orders him to stop. So that's next. Well, Crystarium is how, like, the only person I've heard say it in cutscenes is the Crystal Exarch, and he has said Crystarium every time. But because of the British accent, I would have expected Crystarium, because that's how I would have expected that word to be pronounced by British people, but I don't know. Not that I clearly know, because I'm not a British. Although, I did do 23andMe, and I'm like 90% British, but like more than 90 actually, which, you know, shocking no one. Whitey McWhite White. I don't like fighting when I'm not ready to fight. I mean, I don't know. Probably because, yeah, I don't know. Like, my brain is still turning over the pronunciation thing. And here we have definitely not sand shrews. I guess sand slashes, probably. Or not sand slashes. Legally distinct sand slashes. Search the nooks, search the crannies, search high, search low. Oh, sorry, I did not see you there. Are you lost? Your dad sent me. Father says I must rest. That will not do. No, no, I will stop, but not yet. I need something to show for my efforts. All this scrabbling, all this searching, and still no shinies. You came here to tell me to stop, but if I refuse, your job will not be finished, will it? That will not do either. Wait, I have an idea. I'll help him. If you help me find shinies, my job will be over, your job will be over, and I can rest. Simple, yes? Look under that rubble. Look under that rubble and find whatever is there to be found. Maybe it will be valuable, maybe not. Either way, let us keep searching until we get at least one shiny. Okay, it was first perspective. Like, in that little cutscene, I was like, am I that much smaller than a kobold? But no, it was forced. It's rubber. Okay. My search fails to yield any giants. Something tells me it doesn't matter what order to search these in, it's going to be the third one. Because my search fails to yield any. Something also tells me that I'm gonna have to fight something. I found a signet ring. Oh, okay. I'm a little surprised. No fighting. As Wyclef and Shakira like to say, no fight. What did you find? No more rubble, I hope. Oh, this looks very special. Such pretty patterns. You've never seen one like this before. But how much is it worth? I am an expert in finding shinies, not a historian. Perhaps we should ask someone. Once we sell it, we will divide the profits between us. We worked as a team, so half you, half for me. Fair is fair. Oh yeah, I'm not going to continue. At least not now. Sorry. I don't like bigger mounts when I have when I can't fly and have slow mount speed, because it just seems like they're going so slow. Before I continue this next step of the quest, I'm gonna go get eat. This tower. Oh, no. Okay. Up in the tower seems very much like something they would do. $400 yalms, a little far. Continue. Like, I'm fine with the bigger mounts if I can fly. It's usually if I can fly. If it's an area I can't fly in, even if I've already unlocked faster mount speed, I still feel like I'm going too slow on the really big mounts because of just the perception. But especially if it's non-flying slow mount speed, I It feels like I'm going so slow. Celine is eager to set up. Alize has been desperate to see you, Ren. So let's get you to her sooner rather than later. The inn isn't too hard to find, really. You can actually see the top of the rock spires from here. You just need to swing around the ridge, then head south. Come on, I'll get my supplies together and meet you outside. And by that, I mean just right here. Set? Oh, I should probably mention the wildlife. Well, most of them will leave you be if you keep your distance. Local coyotes have learned to prey on folk heading home from the markets. I could usually swing a sword well enough to fend them off, but I may have loaded myself down with too many bargains today. Do you think you could handle any beasts that try to make a meal of us? Of course. I thought you might. Alize was always saying how much you... I mean, let's get going, shall we? Sorry, there wasn't much time to shout a warning. Were you bitten? Those things can be nasty. And yet hardly a match for you, it seems. I'd always thought Alize was strong, but in her mind, she was never... Now it makes sense. Well, we should push on. It might be best if you scout ahead and clear out any coyotes that have our scent. I'll wait here so you can fight without any distractions. Apparently, the coyotes are not going to come after you while you just stand there. Tesla. Oh, thank goodness you're back. I could hear the howling and snarling from here. Frightful creatures. Let's hope the rest have seen your handiwork and know to avoid us now. I need to get these supplies back to the inn. Landscape is definitely interesting. But I don't know, like I like the oh, this is alternate Eorzea. This is it. Thanks to you, I didn't have to drop my shopping even once. Come to think of it, I'm glad I didn't make the trip alone. It seems you ended up escorting me. I'll have to repay the favor somehow, but first, let's head inside, shall we? This is neat. Welcome to the inn at Journey's Head. You might be our first visitor from the Crystarium since Alizé arrived. It's not much, but it's home for the afflicted and a handful of carers. You don't know? I don't think I've met anyone besides Alizé who was unfamiliar with our situation here. Most folk have grown up knowing someone who knew someone. I might leave out something obvious, so it may be best to have Alizé give you the full explanation. Yeah, I also like the flipping on its head of like dark being the scary, because in this case like light is the scary. Following in her footprints, Tesleen casts her gaze around the inn, hoping to spot. Now, where is she? I think she might be out on patrol. Could wait, I suppose, but why not go and surprise her? She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first, so you might be able to catch her there. It's not far. Head out the south side and you'll soon see it. I'll stay behind in case she comes back while you're gone. Your tune. Big chocobo runs slow. Like, there's sound effects around here that sound so similar to, like, ether currency sounds, but, like, I keep, like, looking like there's nothing there. What? Set. It's just shit. It's not. All right. I've got half of the in the world one. That's not. Alizé is nowhere to be seen, but you spot fresh footprints on the ground. They look to be about the same size. Who's Derek? Small footprints lead off to the north. The footprints continue on to the northwest. Not that I need it, but some experience. Footprints curve around the west. Interesting. It's Crossy. Excuse me, as I was saying, there are more tracks here, but they end in a mess of disturbed sand. Before I was rudely interrupted.
Get back here! Is that... It can't be. Ha!
Ooh, I like her new outfit. Impressive.
Just a lesser sin eater. Nothing to write home about.
I love the best twin.
I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner. How are you? We've fought them to a standstill, then. The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then. I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Urianger were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least. When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision. He may use 10 words where 1 would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal.
Even Alize says that Urianger speaks in cursive.
But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims. Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the Flood. 100 years ago, the balance in the First tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations. Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the Flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether, and triggering the birth of new monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct, that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason. Which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them. The infirmary is full of the Sin Eaters' victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
Z. It's just a matter of time. More for some, less for others. Those patients will all become monsters in the end. And to add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it has served me well as a training ground. Tesleen and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge of the Sin Eaters, which is knowledge I can now share with you, while you help me finish my patrol, of course. Yes, I will do that. Say, but I'll be right back. South. Four. South. Excuse me. Even. Okay, never. Yeah. Zaya would have. Here's what we'll do. I'll take the east side of the inn, and you clear the west. That way we can have an undiluted experience with. That way you can have an undiluted experience with the resident terrors. These marks on your map are where the usual trouble spots are. You can assume that any beast with a white hide or carapace is a Sin Eater, but you'll know for sure soon enough when they come slavering after your ether. Remember, it's kill or be killed with these monsters. Once you've slain whatever's prowling around here, we can rendezvous back at the north entrance. Good hunting. I love the beginning of it, where it's just literally. Even when I try to get things to break Blackest Night, they still don't. It's gotta be this map. Because I so love split maps where you do part of them and later you come back and do. Those are always so fun. How did you fare? I thought there might be one or two lurking on the fringes. Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you noticed it yourself, but individually, these lesser sin eaters are no more deadly than any natural predator you might encounter in the desert. It's when they appear in numbers that they pose a threat. Much like the Void Scent, they have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus, when a powerful sin eater goes on the hunt, it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or hamlet. That's the basic idea behind my patrols, to cull their ranks often enough that their numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out to play. And you've certainly helped on that front. Let's report our victories to Tesleen, shall we? In the Amaro. Alize tells me you helped out on her patrol. You have our thanks, and my apologies for leading you from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. In any case, I'm glad to see the two of you found each other. You have no idea how badly Alize has missed your company. Everything is always, if Rando were here, he would... That's an exaggeration, and I don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective, and I respect Rando's methods. Honestly, after seeing him in action, I can understand why. Alize called out. For simping on the Warrior of Light. The way he leaps into the fray without hesitation, it really is something to behold. I might be a little smitten myself. I'm only teasing, though I've no doubt he deserves all the admiration he gets, just as you do. I'd love to lay out a welcome meal, but the duties I put off when I went to the market are still waiting for me. There are 101 things that need doing. I'm sorry, but would you mind waiting here with Alize? What, and twiddle our thumbs while you work yourself to death? Surely there's something we can help out with. I could do with a hand, it's true. Thank you. You can start by helping me sort out the larder, Alize. While we do that, could you tend to a few patients, perhaps? There are 3 in particular I'm meant to visit. It's just a matter of saying a few words to them and seeing that their skin isn't caked in sand. Their names are Pornil, Todin, and Halric. They may not give much in the way of a response, but I promise they'll be pleased to meet someone new. Thank you. For coming up and just pawing at me, apparently. Oh, I guess I have to do. Todden glances up at you blankly, but you notice the tension in his face ease slightly. Is that Serena? Is this alt Serena? No, I think her horns are different. Oh, is she gonna turn? Oh, it's a he. Oh, that means he's a kid. Ulrich remains utterly still as you wipe the sand from his cheek. The texture of his skin has hardened into something akin to plaster. You've seen to the patients? How were they? Good, that's good. I knew they would enjoy meeting you. I'm concerned about Halric, though. I'll have to speak with the other carers, but I think his time may be near. We shall leave you to have that discussion then. I was going to take Rando to I can't remember how they pronounce it. Sook? Maud Sook. If you have any errands that need doing. Well, I suppose there is one thing. Could you pick up a nectarine from the markets, please? Besides, caravan just passed through, and so Ron should have some fresh fruit. Come then, Rando. There's something I want you to see, right after we stop at Ronron's stall, of course. Does it? It's gonna teleport. Oh ho! Back again, are you? You need another taste of Ronron's wares? Actually, looking to buy a nectarine. Do you have any in stock? Oh yes, nectarines, peaches, grapes, fresh and juicy. Given how richly you cracked your coin purse with me, might still owe you food. Here, take this one, free of charge. Gods, I've never seen a Maud merchant give away something for nothing before. How much coin did you spend here? Oh yes, I'll take a jar of honey worms as well. Oh no, they're not for me, it's an offering of sorts. The worms, if you please. Only the best wrigglers for you. Come again, my friends. Right, that's our shopping chores taken care of. Let's head up past the Aetherite to the main tower. The view I want to show you can only be seen from its very top. The gatekeeper. Here are your precious worms. That buys us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not? Glazed wrigglers! You actually brought them! I really shouldn't let you, but just this once, all right? Only once. Never fails. Shall we?
Do you see what lies beyond? That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance. That nectarine you bought. It's Halric's favorite fruit. Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light. The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals. I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed? Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons.
Of course, for you.
But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
I think it's very awkward, and I get it, but it's very awkward that the whole time I've just been standing there holding this nectarine in my hand. that over there? How do I get over there? I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding the catastrophe which befell the first, one glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than an hour of Riange's lecturing. And I needed you to know, beyond a doubt, that Tesseline has no other choice. The nectarine will be a kindness. It isn't just the threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. The carers are truly fond of their wards, and would spare them that suffering. It is their way of fighting back against a fate worse than death. Go ahead. Go ahead. I think she's been waiting. I hate this. Back. I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find a nectarine? Thank you. Alize explained why I wanted this, hasn't she? I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others and decided to keep an eye on Halric. Thanks to you, though. If his time does come suddenly, we'll be ready to send him on his way with the taste of happier days. Okay, well, with that, it's 11 o'clock. I need to get ready for bed. So thank you for watching. Thank you, Michael, for coming, subscribing, company, and chatting. I very, very much appreciate it. I don't stream most likely. Like, this game has become an obsession of mine. I like it, and yeah, the story's great. So, again, thank you for watching. See you later, everyone.